Hello everyone, welcome back. I want to take a minute today and talk to you guys about LGBT in the gun community. Okay, now as a firearms instructor that's located, very close to New York, New Jersey, and I'm only about 2 hours away from New York City. Um, I've as a firearms instructor, I have trained many of these people over the last 10 years. Okay, and in some cases, I know that they're part of that community. In some cases, I suspect that they might be, and in other cases, I probably had no idea. And that's fine. Okay, that's something that if they want you to know, you'll know. If they don't want you to know, you're not going to know. Some people kind of wear it on their sleeves, other people don't, and none of that matters to me. Okay. Now, as a firearms instructor, basically, aside from the fact that hey, I'm a businessman, my doors are open to everybody. I also look at this from the perspective that I'm always looking to make inroads, to people that don't fully understand gun rights, and that and I don't care who it is. I mean, I see that as a potential to reach into the liberal communities, and try to make them understand our point of views. Now, these people coming to me, usually they will either be already pro-gun rights, or they'll kind of be on the fence about it, or they'll sometimes, I'll if I'm at a location and I'm training them, it's very typical where you have some people in that group that are pro-gun rights, and they'll bring with them people that that are either on the fence or against, but are kind of open-minded. Okay, and to me, that's the perfect opportunity to to tell them, to teach them about gun rights, teach them about gun safety, especially especially people that come from a background where there's been some, where there have been attacks, where they may have been oppressed. To me, that is the perfect opportunity to say, hey, the gun rights are not just for us. They're not just for me. It's also for you people, so that you guys can also protect yourselves. Now I'm going to say that myself, I grew up in a conservative family, and my family today, I'm also I raised, my family is a conservative family. Okay, now to me, right, conservatism, means that I don't want the government involved in my business, in my family affairs, and I don't want other people involved in my family affairs telling me what to do or how I should do things. Okay, unless I invite them, unless I invite their opinions and so forth. But basically, if I don't want their opinions, I don't want to have their opinions, and I don't want them trying to control me. So to me, that's what that's a key component of conservatism. Okay, so that has to apply the other way too. Okay, if there's people, they want to live a certain lifestyle, as long as they're not harming anybody, as long as they're not trying to shove their lifestyle down other people's throats, I don't see a problem, and I definitely see the opportunity here to to bring them over to our side. Okay, because votes matter. Okay, the fact is that most of you guys watching this video, you're already pro-gun rights. You're already going to vote in favor of gun rights. So you guys aren't going to make the difference at this point. The people who are really going to make the difference is people on the other side of the fence, and we got to get those people over on our side. Okay, that's what's going to make the difference. So that's why I've always been very open to people in the LGBT community, and aside from that, I've also trained. I've also interacted with people from other cultures that have been oppressed in the past. Like for example, I've trained lots of Jewish people, and I've trained people from other cultures around the world, that have suffered, under different harsh regimes. Okay, I've had people I've trained from Cambodia. They suffered at one point under, communist regimes over there. I've had Ukrainians. I've had, basically, I've trained lots of people from ex-socialist countries or existing socialist countries. I've had a lot of people here, that I've trained from China, and to me, this is an opportunity to take these people, bring them in, and make them part of our community, because here's the thing: if they're not going to be on our side, then they're going to be on the other side, okay? So I would rather have them on our side, okay? Now, if one of the things I want you guys to know, right, is if at some point you find yourself training these people, or even just at the range shooting with them, okay, stay on the topic of guns. Don't get into the topic of trying to, into the politics or into the social lives. No, that's your business. You have a common point of interest, which is guns or gun rights or safety, personal protection, whatever it is. Stick to that topic, okay? Stick to that. Stick to the points of interest. You don't try to change them. They don't try to change you, okay? And to me, it's like, another way of looking at this, right, is, one of the things that I will typically tell liberals is, if you don't like guns, don't buy any, okay? Well, I'll tell you guys, if you don't like being gay, then don't be gay, it's that simple, okay? It's not your business it's not your business if what they're doing in their bedroom, and it's, not their business or what you're buying, okay? So let's keep that fair like that, okay? Now, for the people that watching this who may be part of that LGBT community, one of the things I will tell you guys, okay, is that if you as you get into the gun culture, okay, observe the culture, see what it's like. Now, obviously, if you're coming to somebody like me or some other instructor, if you're visiting a paid instructor, you're going to get professional services, okay? And that's sort of different from just going to a range and interacting with people from the gun community. One of the things that you will notice is that people in the gun community can be a little, rough with each other. They make fun of each other. I mean, that's kind of part of the community, okay? And in fact, it's one of those things where it's like, if people are being a little too nice to you, they really haven't accepted you as part of that community. Okay? So that's one of the things to be aware. If you're part of that LGBT community, and you start getting into the gun culture, and you start mingling with people, at gun ranges, at gun clubs, at other gun groups, certainly on the internet. I mean, the internet is probably the most rude place on the planet, okay? Basically, you got to roll with the punches a little bit there. I mean, they are, people in the gun community who are straight are extremely rude and obnoxious to each other at times. So, that's kind of how that goes, okay? So that's my advice to the people in the LGBT community coming into the gun culture, and I have been seeing more and more of that, which is good. I'm very happy about that. But it's basically kind of a, almost like a warning to both sides. On the one side, we, who are already in the gun community, we need these people. We need them on our side, fighting with us, voting with us. Okay. And on the other side, people in the LGBT community, they gotta understand that sometimes we can be a little rough around the edges, and they gotta give us a little slack there. And this is I wouldn't it wouldn't make sense for if we're being I don't want to say mean, but if we're kind of being rough with each other, it wouldn't make sense for us to all of a sudden be super nice to a specific group. So there's definitely a culture within the gun community. And basically the idea is, as they're coming into this gun community, they want to become part of that culture. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.